The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
No. Check. Patriot.
On first down, Watson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Trying to lay one up deep. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Watson throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Detroit!
On 1st and 10, Watson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Leopard!
Throwing again is Watson. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Leopard!
Again, it's Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how we wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
And he'll run it here. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. second down. Here's Jackson fighting through pressure. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
From the gun, Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
And that's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's third and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Brought down by Nate Gehring.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Watson now on second down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Detroit! Detroit!
Third and long. It's Watson. And this is caught at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Out of the gun, Watson. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. They send Thomas out to the right by himself. To throw is Watson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now Watson on third and goal. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 11 yards, but still not enough. Fourth down. Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. Fourth and goal from the 2.
No. Check. Patriot. Patriot.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And that is going to be incomplete. They're turned away on fourth and goal. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And there's so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach would always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Now, this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Take it at the 37. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind and try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow him to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st down here. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Watson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And now out comes Minnesota. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Jackson from the shotgun. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Detroit! 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 Hut!
Jackson on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
They'll try again from the 36 on second and 10.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. Room to run past midfield. And he comes back with one complete. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Gone! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone! 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 Gone!
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up first and 10.
Back there, not Philly. Here we go.
After the interception, here's Watson. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Leopard! Leopard! Gone! 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 Gone!
On first down, it's Watson. And now he'll tuck it and run. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Here's Watson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw on second is Watson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Watson. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Steps away to his left. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Adrian Colbert, he was right there in coverage. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going to wind up and air it out. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, these offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
No. Check. Patriot. Over.
Play action. Now Jackson. Being chased out left. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Looking deep downfield. Now a clash of bodies here and it's intercepted. Picked off by Minka Fitzpatrick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now Watson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled.
This is caught inside the 15. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. Give him 30 yards there.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now a first down throw. Watson. Dancing to his left. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints add on to their lead. And his kick is right through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, it totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. To throw is Jackson. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3. Wide motion.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Buying time to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the... He's got a man complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play for the Vikings on 3rd down. 51 yards. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Bobby Wagner coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hey, I need one over here.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Detroit! Detroit!
Faking the give. Now Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
They're on to the second half now down in Miami. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They're going for it. It's Watson. He's going to look deep down the field. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ballgame. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now it's Jackson. And the third down pass falls incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Carlson able to put this one through. And that'll bring them back within 4. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Daniil Hunter in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Watson off play action. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Complete. It's Johnson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Eluding the pressure right. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it with Johnson. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. They come out here in the eye. 3rd down. That's Holmes. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Carter. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And the quick slant gets exactly 10. And by the nose of the football, they've got a 1st down. Back to throw. Forced out to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Able to power through. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win. Yes, it was a touchdown, and not just a TD, but how about a long touchdown that puts them in a great position now.
And now just an extra point away from tying this thing. A very important extra point there, up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range, not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Watson escapes the sack. He's going to air one out. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And what an effort on the final play of regulation. All zeros on the clock, and we are headed to OT. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Out onto the field comes New Orleans, set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
His throw incomplete.
You got to remember, because now that we're in overtime, mistakes get magnified. So you got to walk that line between being aggressive and being careful, because that was a dangerous throw right there. You obviously could not have an interception in this spot.
And nearly was an interception. He's lucky to get that one back. In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. A shotgun snap for Watson. Going up top. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game, and boy, they did it well.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? All right, anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath, and boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime. Here's Jackson being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. Oh, wide open, complete. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, Jackson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's Jackson. Dancing to his left. And the pressure gets to him again. Vic Beasley in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. Fourth down, here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Saints, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside...
I like when birds come in. Sounds like I see seats in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle. LED logo the tag. I go in back of the. They all from that. My diamonds, they all look at. This, that. I go to bed on bed. I got the beam in the flats. I got it in the back. Haters, they talk the chat. They step on the rock, the man. I'm a K back. 400K. I found out where you lay at.